Hey new warriors! In this video, we are going to cover the fundamentals of the Bounty Hunter subclass in Crystal of Atlan for those who are new, and by the end of this video, this should give you a good grasp of what to expect and whether or not the build is right for you. So that being said, let's get started. So what makes the Bounty Hunter class so explosive and fun to use when compared to other classes in the game? Well, for one, if you're a huge fan of classics like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry, or that very run and gun playstyle where you're really hard to hit, especially when you're far away, you like that more ranged approach to playing games, then the Bounty Hunter class is definitely right for you. Now, of course, with every class, there's always going to be pros and cons, and we'll go over them right now. The pros, for the most part, is that, as I mentioned, you are playing more of a hit and run playstyle, which means that it's going to be harder for enemies to hit you, especially if you play from range. That's really where Bounty Hunter maximizes potential from more of a mid-range type of approach, and therefore you can really nail a lot of damage off very quickly because of your very swift movements. However, the con is that if you are up against enemies who require you to be up close, that's where things can be somewhat of a challenge, just because you are by nature a ranged character, and thus you're likely going to take more risk to get in, and you might take more damage as a result. So bear in mind that if you prefer to play more of a close range in your face playstyle, then the Bounty Hunter is not necessarily for you. Granted, there are some in your face type of moves, or abilities rather, but they're not necessarily used to get in. It's more of a utility that can be used to rack on damage, but then once it's done, you need to run away and then rinse and repeat. So if that sounds right up your alley, then keep watching, as we'll now jump right into our skills and abilities. Alright, so here we are at the skills section, where I will cover in detail the more quintessential skills to look out for, while also pointing out some notable options if need be, if you're looking to go for a more versatile approach. For now, Flame Burst and Slide Attack are two of the main assets to utilize, not just for the beginning of the game, but also into endgame as well. And Flame Burst is great because it is a non-committal attack, meaning that it does damage for you without you having to really commit and engage the enemy. You can chuck it down, run away, and you and your team can benefit from all of that scorching damage. Slide Attack is also great because it can work in tandem with Flame Burst, where if you wanted to take a risk and slide in, pop your Flame Burst and disengage, you can do so. But for me, I like to use Slide Attack as a more disengaged tool to run away, keep my range, and stay safe. Next, you have your Dance of Ashes. This is your first super that you will get, your first finisher. And this is fantastic as it is great for single targets, but also for dealing with mobs well into the end game. And this perhaps is the most quintessential part of the entire build for Bounty Hunter mains, and that is the Rain Down Fire ability. This provides you with so much DPS, it's crazy, and not only that, you get to move around, making you really a harder target to manage. Furthermore, if you get the extended magazine, this increases your duration by 3 seconds, thus giving you a total of 8 seconds off the jump. And of course, if you wanted to build more into that, there is gear out there that you can utilize to further enhance that duration of time. But this is perhaps the most important part of the build, so definitely get this right away. Next, Enchanted Twin Eagles. I use this more for a well-rounded build where I have an ability that's close range, does DOT, while still giving me the advantage of playing from a range because I can run away and still rack on damage. So for example, I can pop Twin Eagles, and then I can go into my Rain Down Fire, and both of them in tandem can do really good damage. Furthermore, this also penetrates the target's defenses, which is great. So if you're up against a boss that is really tanky, you can pop Twin Eagles and pop Rain Down Fire, pop your Flame Burst, and just go crazy with all that damage. Which then brings us to the magic cartridge. So If you're looking to play a specific elemental build or style, this is where the cartridge comes into play, because you have Pyro, Umbro, Cryo, and Electro respectively. For me, I've opted for Cryo because Cryo is just really, really strong, but all of the respective elements have their buffs. So for example, Pyro gives you explosion range increase, Umbro gives you penetration, Cryo slows targets, and Electro gives you a chance to render the target vulnerable. So the reason why I've opted for Cryo is because toward the bottom, we'll get to it very soon, there's an ability here that's really, really strong and that can do a lot of damage if really used carefully. But for now, you want to get Magic Cartridge alongside your ammo prep. This reduces the cooldown by 15 seconds, ensuring that you'll always have the option to pop your cartridge and always get value for your rain down fire. So you want to pop this first, then pop rain down fire, or if you wanted to, pop this first, then pop your Twin Eagles, then pop your rain down fire, and it all just comes into full swing, and just watch the damage rack up. Next, we have Apocalypse. Now, Apocalypse, I just like this primarily for the flashiness of it. It really gives me that Matrix Trinity type of vibe, but it is good for crowd control and just gathering enemies together, making it easier for you and your team to just dispose of, you know, any little side mobs. Against single target, it's still okay. It does some pretty decent damage, actually. It's surprisingly very good for what it's worth. So it is worth investing into. And then Frostwind Bullet. This right here is insane damage. Crazy, crazy damage. Not only does it do mad damage, but it slows enemies and can potentially freeze them as well, which is really, really strong. This I've used so many times in the game where it's been doing like 500,000 to 1 million plus damage per shot, and it's just wild. Also, you want to get freeze level 1, as this potentially has the chance to freeze, which, as I mentioned before, is really, really good. And then you have your next finisher, which is Domain Temporal Lockdown. This, alongside your Dance of Ashes, is going to be where you add on extra damage. Your Domain Temporal Lockdown is really, really strong for crowd control, for bosses. It's just very flexible, and this thing will just eat enemies alive. It's so good. Must have, must have. Next up is Eagle's Return. This can also be very good for a more close ranged approach. You can use it to just chuck it at enemies while still being at your respectable range and do damage from afar and let the gun do the talking. Furthermore, you've got Shield Break, which also works well, so you can pop your Eagle's Return plus pop your Twin Eagles, and not only do you get your defense shred, now you're getting armor break as well, or shield break, which is also fantastic. So those are the more quintessential abilities to look out for. As far as other notable options that you can choose, you could also go for flurry shots. This is good for just sucking enemies in, and you can combo this well with the likes of, let's say, rain down fire. So you can pop your flurry shot, rain down fire, and because enemies are going to be airborne, you can make use of that as well. Spiral cut, it's okay if you want to go for that more aerial combo assault type of playstyle. This works well with the likes of your levitating shot if you wanted to go with that. But again, those are other options to choose. They're not must-haves. The ones I mentioned, definitely look out for those. And then other passives, they just connect to your more notable abilities. So any passives you see that are connected, make sure to get that for sure. Gun Fu, also a really good one. Get that because that increases your physical crit. Quick Recovery is also good too. And also Extreme Dodge. This gives you Resonance Energy, which is really, really strong. And then Dexterous, rather. This gives you a buff, and this increases your movement speed. So as long as you have this, you're also good. Makes you faster. So when you tie this in with Rain Down Fire, you are basically just... You're crazy. You're crazy fast. So, that being said, let's move on to more gameplay and commentary, and wrap things up from there. So what do you think, folks? Has the Bounty Hunter sold you? Has this been convincing enough to turn you into a Bounty Hunter main? Let me know in the comments section. And I want to just thank you all for making it this far in the video. It really means a lot to the channel, as it lets me know what videos you enjoy and therefore what videos to continue making. So like and subscribe to see more as usual. And for those who are part of the community, new warriors, much love to all of you. In the end, Bounty Hunter is a fantastic class. I'm having a blast playing her. She is so fun to use. She really allows me to express myself in the way that I love, which more hit and run. I can be more flashy with my combos, and I also feel like at times I have some team utility, so it's also really cool. It's great for endgame. It's great for all types of the game, to be honest with you. So if you're looking for a character that gives you pretty much the entire facet of options that can carry you from the beginning to the end, then as I said, Bounty Hunter really cooks. So once again, love you all for tuning in. Appreciate you. As always, new warriors, stay strong, keep fighting, and may the force be with you all always. See you folks on the next one for more Crystal of Atlan content, Path of Exile 2, ARPGs, roguelike shooters, and much more. Keep it locked right here on the Nufrontier. Take care.